Dear students, welcome to EPG Pathshala. This module is continuation of the previous module, that is time series analysis and its importance. In previous module we discussed the components of time series, that is secular trend, cyclic variation, seasonality, irregular variation. In this module we will focus basically upon trend, how to measure the trend. For that, first one is graphical method, second one is method of semi averages, third one is method of moving averages, and fourth one is method of fitting curve by using least square method. So we also discuss that some of methods are very easy to use for a layman person, but some of the methods are not as much easy for a non-mathematician person. So, but the importance of these methods are very high, so we have to use this method in literature, or we have to use this method for forecasting that help us to predict the trend in a more appropriate way. So thank you. Secular trend or simply trend is considered as to see the tendency of the observations. These tendency may be linear or non-linear, form an upward or downward type. There is a need to measure this component so that one can remove the effect of factors that are responsible for this. For example, increase, decrease in the price of the commodity, shares, gold, etc., so that one can forecast the values of the study variable in more exact manner through modeling as well as study its characteristics. Hence, our main concern in this module to give you a brief understanding about the measure of time series and try to make it as simple as possible but informative for non-mathematical background students to understand. In literature, there are many methods available for measurement of secular trend. Some of them are graphical method, method of curve fitting by least square method, and moving averages method. These methods will be discussed in this module with their merits and demerits. Now come to measurement of trend. Following are among the most important method for measurement of trends. First is graphical method, second one is method of semi averages, third one is method of curve fitting by principle of least square, and fourth is method of moving averages. Now we will discuss these methods of measurement of trend in detail with examples. Graphical method. Graphical method are also known as freehand curve fitting and is the most simplest and flexible method for measurement of trend component. This method is based on a freehand curve, moving curve. This smooth hand curve are plotted on the value of study variable with respect to time interval of any time series. To draw smooth hand curve, first consider study variable on the y axis and time is considered on the x axis. Now plot each value of study variable against its time value. After plotting, draw a curve in such a way that it presents the tendency of the original observations. Also, remember that the curve should remain smooth between the values of the study variable. This freehand smooth curve eliminates the effect of other components of time series such as cyclic, seasonal, and irregular. This method can be used for all types of trend, linear and non-linear. To obtain an appropriate trend line by using freehand curve method, one must follow some instruction. These are: it should be smooth. Second is sum of square of the vertical deviation of the given point of the trend must be minimum as much as possible. It can only be possible when sum of the vertical deviation of the given points above trend line should be equal to the sum of vertical deviation of the given point below trend line. If the cycles are present in the data, the trend line, then number of cycles must be equal to above and below of the trend line. Area of each cycle must be almost same. So in this graph you can easily see that the blue line, the blue curve is a freehand curve and the red is represents the trend line. So what are the merits of graphical method? It is very simple and flexible method. It does not require any mathematical calculation. Third is, it is very time saving method. Now what are the demerits? This method is very subjective. The personal bias is presented in the graphical method because different types of investigator handle data in different ways according to their simplicity and investigate them. So investigator may get different trend line for same data set. To use this method in a proper manner, one should be skilled and experienced person who can remove this type of biasness. This is one of the major restriction to use of this method. So in this example we have sale of luxury car that is represented on the second column and that is given in 1000. So if we have to draw a smooth curve, then it is just by joining the points. If you plot the observation on the y axis, that is values of sale, and on the x axis we have year. So if we join the points in a smooth curve manner, then you will get this figure. From the above graph, one can see that the trend line lie between the points and area of the curve below the line and above the line are the same. Now come to second method, that is method of semi averages. Method of semi averages eliminates some biasness that prevails in the graphical method. In this method, we divide whole time series data into two semi parts and take their averages for obtaining trend line. Is known as semi average method. For obtaining required trend line by using this method, one has to follow some steps. These are: first, divide the whole time series data into two parts with respect to time. Two parts of data can be easily obtained in the case of even number of years, but in case of odd number of years, two parts can be obtained by removing the value of middle year, that is median. Now compute average of both two parts. This average value is known as semi averages. Now plot the semi averages value against the mid value of the respective time period covered by each part. Now join these 2 points and get a trend line. This is the required trend line of the given time series data. Now in this example we have years in the first column, sales of cars that given in 1000 is given in the second column, and in the third column we have sum of first 3 rows, that is 20, 24 and 22, that is equal to 66, and sum of last 3 rows, that 30, 28, 32 of sales, that its sum is given as 90, and if you average it, you will get the value 22, and similarly you will get the value 30. So if you plot these points on the graph, you can see that the orange value represents the semi average value, and the line that is given as the dots, that is the trend line, and the sale is the line that you will get by joining the points of the sales corresponding to years. So what are the merits of semi averages? It is easy to understand and apply as compared to other methods of measuring trend. Second is, the main advantage of this method is its objective method, that is free from subjective biasness. Hence it gives same trend value for all users. Third is, this technique can be used for predicting both future or past estimates. What are the demerits? This method assumed linear relationship that may not be exist in the values of study variable. The predicted value of this method are not precise and reliable, that fluctuate with the small change in the values of the study variable. The use of arithmetic mean may also be questionable. Now, in the method of moving averages, this method is very simple and flexible method for measuring the trend line by mean of moving average of successive groups of the time series. This average process removes the fluctuation of the given time series. For finding moving average of successive groups of the given time series, first one has to assume a constant value small m, which is known as period or extent of the moving average. Thus, in method of moving average, we take average of m observation at a time, that is, we are taking moving average of m periods. We start with first, second, third value and so on till all observations are covered. Thus, for any time series value yt, that is study variable at time t, where t varies from 1 to small n, the moving average of m period are given as first moving average is evaluated through y1 till y and sum it to ym and divided by m. Second moving average will be starting from y2 until ym plus 1 and divided by m. There are two cases according period of moving averages. First is when period m is odd, if the moving average is 2k plus 1, moving average value placed against the mid value of the corresponding time interval. For example, if m will be considered as 7, then first moving average placed against the middle point and the second moving average will be placed against the 11th row and so on. One can easily see from the example what these things are. From the example, we can see that the values are given in the second column, and in the third column we have the value by taking the sum of 5 observation, and its sum will be noted in the third row. And similarly, when we have 7 period moving average, then the first 7 observation sum is represented in the fourth row, and similarly so on. So, when we have m is even, if moving average period is m is 2k, moving average value placed against the intermediate value of the corresponding time interval. In this case, moving average are not coincide with the period of the given time series. To place moving average against original value, centering technique are used. Centering is a technique in which we take average of the two moving average value and place them in between the corresponding time period. These corresponding moving average are known as centering moving average. Method of moving average. For example, if m is equal to 6, then first moving average placed against between third and fourth time interval, second moving average placed against between 9th and 10th time interval, and so on. Now, obtain center moving average of two periods of moving average are placed them against third, fourth, fifth and so on time interval. If we use these values of moving average against given time interval, then one can get a trend curve. The basic problem to apply this method is to find period of moving average. Here, period of moving average indicate the period of oscillatory movements in the series. So, this method remove the effect of cyclic effect of the series. So, the period of moving is equal to or multiple of the period of cyclic movements of the given series. From this example, we can see that in the first column we have values of years available, and the second column annual sales are given here, and in the third column we have 4 yearly moving average. So, you can see that the 4 yearly moving average is sum of the 4 observation, that is annual sales in 1989, annual sale in 1990, 1991 and 1992. So, the average of these values given is 3.5 and it is placed between 1990 and 91. Similarly, the 4 yearly moving average value, that is 3.75 is available and it is placed in between 1991 and 1992. So, 2 point moving average is the sum of the average of 3.5 and 3.75. So, we get these values and these values are used to make up a trend line. So, what are the merits of moving average? This method is very simple and flexible, easy to understand, not included any typical mathematical calculation and complexities as compared to other methods. This method removes all subjective characteristics. Third is, this method is not affected by adding a new observation in original data. Fourth is, this method is also used for measurement of seasonal, cyclic and irregular fluctuation. What are the demerits? The main disadvantage of this method is that this method is not appropriate to provide trend value for all given time series values. There exists not any type of functional relationship, so this method cannot be used for forecasting future values. The selection of period is not an easy task when there is no any cyclic fluctuation in the time series. In this case, we cannot find accurate period of moving average, and so this method cannot eliminate completely oscillatory movements from the given data. Now come to the last method, that is method of curve fitting by the principle of least square. The principle of least square is a mathematical analysis device and most widely used method to fit a trend for a given time series. It is mostly used in cases where time series observations value relationship with time is very strong. This relationship shows the tendency of increment and decrement with an increase in the value of time. Then this method is most appropriate to get a reliable future forecast value. This method is used for all types of trend, that is linear and non-linear. In this module, we will discuss the fitting of linear, exponential and logistic trend explained by principle of least square. So, first fitting of linear trend, consider a straight line curve between the given time series value, that is yt, and time is denoted by t, given by the equation yt is equal to a plus bt. Principle of least square method used for finding the value of a and b by minimizing the sum of square between given time series value yt and estimated value, that is yt hat. Suppose E denotes the sum of square of error and yt hat represents the estimated value of a study variable. So, E should be is equal to minimum of yt and minus yt hat, that is minimum between yt minus a minus bt square. Now, take partial differentiate with respect to a and b for finding normal equation to get the values of a and b, such that these are the normal equation and these are evaluated as, if you take the derivative of e with respect to a and derivative of e with respect to b, so you will get these equations and these are called normal equations. Now, put this partial differential equation equal to 0, then we will get normal equation or least square equation. So, after solving this equation, you will get the values of a and b, and these can be solved further by take summation on the third equation and multiplying by t and take summation. After that, you will get sixth equation, where n is the number of time series values. Equation 5th and 6th are normal equation that are used for estimating the value of a and b. After estimating the value of a and b, you have to put the value of a and b in equation 1, then you will get a fitted straight line trend. So, this thing is represented through example. In this example, we have years that is given in the first column and production is given in the second column, and t denotes year minus 194. So, you will get this value from, if you subtracted 1990 minus 1994 and similarly so on, you will get these values. So, t square is equal to 16, 4, 0, 16, 40 and yt is founded from multiplying by 16 to minus 4 and minus 2 yt you can find it from 8 multiplying 18 to minus 4, 21 into minus 2, 23 into 0, 27 into 2, 16 into 4 and 105 into 0, 1 into 5 into 40. Fitting of exponential trend. The exponential curve is given by yt is equal to abt. Taking logarithmic on both sides, we will get log of yt log of a plus t into log of b. Similarly, second degree curve fitted to logarithmic curve is founded from yt is equal to a b power t and c power t square. So, log of yt can be considered as du yt dash and log of a can be considered as a dash, and t into log of b can be considered as, where we consider log of b as b dash, then you will get the equation as y dash is equal to a dash into t times b dash. So, this can be considered as a linear curve. So, you have to estimate the values of a and b from by using the least square method, and after estimating the value of a and b, you have to put the values of a and b in the same equation and you will get the trend line. Similarly, for the second degree curve, you have to take log, that is log of yt is equal to log of a plus t time log of b plus t square into log of c. After estimating the value of a, b and c, you will get the value of yt hat, that is an estimated trend equation. So, what are the merits of cyclic fitting by the principle of least square? This method completely eliminates subjective character of judgment of an investigator because of its mathematical phenomena. This method uses whole values incorporating trend for a given period of time for estimating trend lines. The trend equation can be used for predicting future values. This method gives reliable and accurate trend values. And what are the demerits? This method is quite slow and time consuming as compared to other methods because of its mathematical nature. It requires more calculation and it is not easy for non-mathematical mathematician person to apply it to finding out trend values.